Right then, this is a quick walk around video, and this is for a Lexus CT200 hybrid, and it's the SEI version. Finished in black with a red and black interior, which looks absolutely fantastic on the car. This car is also fitted with the optional and very sought after sat-nav and rear parking camera. The car's covered just under 115,000 miles, coming as a part exchange, and it's in very, very nice condition for the age and mileage of the vehicle, it has to be said. Front of the car is really clean, lights and lenses are clear, intact, no cracks or condensation. Bonnet only exhibits a tiny amount of stone chipping, which is remarkable for the age of the car. Near side of the vehicle, very, very, very smooth in the panels, no obvious indentations there at all. There was, and there is, a little scratch just there. It looks really quite light, so it's been touched in at some point, but that I'm being mega critical, by the way. You can hardly see it. Bumper corners at the back, again, all very, very clean. And around to the off side of the car, driver's side. Again, very, very smooth in the panels. It just doesn't look like a car that's done the miles it's done. It looks like a car that's done kind of half the mileage, in all honesty. So externally, getting really, really nice condition. Coming to the boot area now, been kept absolutely beautifully back here, and always very nicely finished, as you'd expect on a Lexus. Coming to the back of the car, I mean, it really does look fantastic, this interior. The video makes it look slightly redder than it actually is. It's slightly lighter, but it does look fantastic and is in amazing condition. It's coming in the front of the passenger side, again, all really clean and tidy. Footwell area is lovely. Passenger seat again in super order. Let's finally come to the driver's door card, again, absolutely unblemished. Footwell area is again in lovely condition, and the driver's seat, the one that should show a lot of wear, shows very, very little at all. It's obviously got some wear, which you'd naturally expect. So inside the car now, engine switched on so you can see the dashboard illuminated, and it looks absolutely as new. It's incredibly clean. Sat nav, as you can see there, working absolutely perfectly. Pop the car into reverse. Look at that lovely clear gridded parking camera, all working exactly as it should as well. But it really is in extraordinary condition. Then come up to the main dash binnacle, and when you're in eco and normal mode, that's the dash you get. Nice kind of blue hue behind it. If I switch to the right hand side to the sport, then you get that, which, I mean, it just looks absolutely fantastic. Finally, just to show you, owner's manual pack and lock and wheel nut key all here and present with the car. Right then, this is a quick road test video, and this is for a Lexus CT200, and it's the SEI version. This particular car is registered YR61HHK, and mileage at the start of the video is 114,922 miles. The reason we do all of our videos is very simple indeed, and especially this road test section. It's because we've been to see so many cars over the years which have looked perfectly good in a description and photographs, only to get there and find out when you drive the car it's got a fundamental issue which we'd much rather known about before setting off, so hence that's why we do it. Also done on these very quiet country roads. This actually forms part of the road test route that we take our customers on, to hopefully be representative of what you'd feel yourself should you be offered a test drive in the car. This particular vehicle, as you'll hopefully know from the walk around section, which I hope to have done, it's come in as a part exchange to us. Customers have bought a newer Lexus from us, and Lexus throughout their family by all accounts. It's been very well kept, very, very well kept car. Car starts with a press of the button to kind of whir it into life, generally silently into battery. The hybrid system on these is absolutely sensational. If you've never driven a Lexus hybrid before, you're in for a treat. Sorry, just move things like something rattling away down there. Basically, you just own and drive them as you would any normal car. So it is, Lexus referred to them as self-charging for good reason. Basically, you don't do anything, it does it all for you. When you back off the throttle or hit the brake pedal, it regenerates power to put it into the battery. So you cannot run out of battery. The only thing you can run out of is fuel in the normal way. So it's just normal ownership. Where they differ is just in how they drive. They are so smooth. Obviously, its engine goes through a CVT gearbox, so everything, the transition from engine to electric to battery only, is all but imperceptible. It's brilliantly engineered. It gives you 3 options when you get in the car. You've got eco mode, normal and sport. Generally it defaults to normal mode as you drive along, so I've got dashboard, a nice sort of blue hue to it. Power meter on the left hand side tells me on that eco, power or charging. It's very nicely presented, of course. If I want to maximise my economy, I twist it to the left and go into eco mode, so it feels slower straight away. I'll be brutally honest with you, I own a CT200 identical virtually, and I never use eco mode because I find it just a little bit too slow for my liking. I think it'd probably be fine around town, but on the open road I don't particularly get on with it. You just press the button back to go to normal, or twist it to the right and you go into sport mode, and immediately you feel a complete difference in its power delivery, how keen it is to get up and go. Dashboard's now gone red with a rev counter, much more sporty feel. You get a red light comes down here. It's a lovely mode to be in. I kind of 50-50 as to what I go into, but all working absolutely perfectly with no warning lights on the dashboard at all relating to the engine or any other part of the car. But a wonderful system, and hugely economical and reliable, of course. CVT gearbox is genius because it matches exactly what the hybrid system is doing absolutely perfectly. If you've not driven one before, what tends to happen is as you drive along, I'll wait to go around the corner, if you want to accelerate, you'll feel the revs go up and then the car kind of catch up with it a little bit, as if you had clutch slip in an old car. So put your foot down there, revs pick up. But what you learn to do with cars, because sometimes you'll watch a road test video of one of these and people just thump their foot to the floor and say, oh, listen to the engine, you're going to hear his engine droning away. Well, you don't generally drive like that. You get small moments where you get that. Normally, if you're on let's say join a motorway, let's say I was on a slip road now, you put your foot down to get up to speed quite quickly, but you back the throttle off and it settles back down completely. And then it's from that point on, you've got 1% of your driving where you can hear the engine. The rest of it is so smooth, and you learn to drive them. So don't ignore completely what these dreadful people have to say. And they're not dreadful people, of course. They're perfectly nice people, but they possibly don't understand how to sort of use a hybrid system to its best. Steering on the car, I've always liked this generation's, this CT200, because I think it's got a very good front end. It's very positive. As soon as you're turning the wheel, the car wants to move straight away. It's got a nice weighting to it. It also tracks absolutely bullet straight. There's no vibrations either at this speed or any speed up to the legal limit, but it's a lovely power steering setup. It's for those who kind of like a sporty car, it's got that kind of sporty feel to it. Suspension on the vehicle, this section of the road is particularly rough, which is why I tend to go up it at this point to listen out for any kind of noises coming from underneath the vehicle that shouldn't be there. Now, given the fact that even though it's a Lexus, it has done 100,000 plus, it absolutely drives like a 20,000 mile car. It doesn't have any kind of creaks or groans or rattles, nothing at all. It's solid as a rock, but that's typical of the breed. They are beautifully engineered vehicles. Going to give the brakes a bit of a shove as well while I'm at it. So really powerful brakes on the car. Bite really well, no pulsing, no vibrations coming back through the brake pedals, all feels absolutely fine. Worth pointing out, the car will be going for an independent MOT So these things will be checked anyway, but as it stands, it drives perfectly. So coming inside the car, again, as you'd expect of any Lexus, it's a beautifully put together vehicle. It really, really is. The build assembly is second to none. No squeaks, no rattles, you know, they're solid cars, but also one of the best interiors you're ever going to sit in. I think it's fantastic in here, which is why I own one. I always struggle to get across what I mean. I mean, basically, when you get into one of these, it feels quite special. It's different to lots of cars. There's an intimacy to its driving position, where you feel, you know, cliched, but you do feel like you're surrounded in a little cockpit, but all just beautifully detailed. The labelling, the actuation of every switch is brilliantly done. This has got the lovely option, obviously, of the sat-nav there as well. If you want, you can press a little button here to adjust the angle of the screen if the sun's low, or if you want to close it completely, you can do, but all working absolutely as it should. It has dual zone climate control, so different temperatures can be had different sides, and it's blowing out absolutely ice cold air, by the way. Dash binnacle in front, as I mentioned before, just again, it's just the detailing, it's clearly premium product. Everything they've done is to give you the very best, and it is superbly presented to you, and everything working exactly as it should. And as I said, you know, at the start of the video, the point, brief as it may well be, is literally just to show the car operating and to feedback on anything that there might be, especially on cars like this one, 10 years old with 114,000 miles, or 115,000 as near as damn it. And I can't fault it in any way. It drives absolutely perfectly. If you've got any questions about the car, don't hesitate, do give us a call.